Welcome back to the Burke Family 54 Comics podcast. This is episode 5. My name is Steve, and you're listening to the Burke Family 54 Comics YouTube channel. This podcast is titled The Burke Cast. In episode 5 today, just like all of my podcasts, we're going to have 3 different segments. The first segment is always going to be my new comic book day poll list for the week. And then in segment 2 and 3, there's going to be other topics related to comic books. In segment 2, we're going to talk about variants and exclusive variants and buying multiple copies of the same book. In segment 3, we're going to talk about why you should or should not grade comic books. Let's get started. All right, thank you to my channel sponsors. We have comic_book_pressing on Instagram. Protect your comic book investment for as little as $10 by pressing it with Eric from comic_book_pressing. He presses all tiers and grades of books, and make sure you use my promo code BURKE54 for free shipping back to you. Again, thank you to my sponsor, comic_book_pressing, and thank you to my newest sponsor, the 616 Comics. Thank you for sponsoring the Burke Box. Thank you for being a supporter and sponsor of this channel. I appreciate it. And thank you to my channel members. In the family tier, we got Ruben Guzman, Legion of Comics, The Cover Collector, Mike V, DJ Links, Flash, 6792, Deep Dive Comics, Comic Book Poser, Collectibles Lounge, and Cadrano Prince. And thank you to the supporter tier as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get into my podcast. So this is episode 5. And we're going to go ahead and get started with segment 1, my new comic book day poll list for December 2nd, 2020. What books I'm grabbing? Well, I'm going to be grabbing my poll from last week because I did not get a chance to get it last week because of the holiday. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing Flash number 766, the variant by N. Hook Lee. And then I'm also going to be grabbing TMNT Best of Donatello number 1. I really enjoyed TMNT Best of Raphael number 1. I thought it was great. And I'm excited to get this TMNT Best of Donatello number 1. As far as books that come out this week, definitely going to grab Batman number 104, the Mattina variant. Anything Mattina does, I love. I've been picking up Batman since Batman Rebirth. I have every single Batman main title book since issue 1, I guess you could say issue 0 of the New 52. I have all the annuals, all of that. I'm excited about Batman number 104. Thor number 10 by Donny Cates. I'm excited about that. Though I will say Thor number 9 was kind of a letdown, if I'm being honest. I am excited about this though. Thor number 10 coming out this week. Nick Klein on the art there. Then we also have Firepower number 6 by Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney. Every single issue of Firepower is just straight fire. I love it. If you've not read the prequel, the trade paperback, make sure you check it out. It is great stuff. It explains a lot, and it is just an overall amazing read. I'm excited about Firepower number 6. Definitely grabbing Deceased Dead Planet number 6, the movie poster variant. Now, I normally get the Mattina variants, but I love that Shazam throwback on the cover here. I just like it a little bit more than a Mattina variant. So I'm going to be grabbing the movie poster variant. This is book number 6 of 6 of Deceased Dead Planet. So I'm excited about that. And you know I could not forget King in Black number 1 by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. I'm excited about this. I've been reading Venom for the last couple months or so. Anything Venom has been hot. I love Venom. It has been written really great. Anything Donny Cates writes, I'm really enjoying. I'm super excited about this event by Marvel. King in Black number 1. Books that I'm on the fence on. Well, I've heard good things. Well, actually, I've heard like good things and bad things about Batman Catwoman number 1. Tom King writing, Clayman art. I've met Tom King in person. He was a nice guy. Clayman wasn't as nice. I know this is kind of like a different take on Batman Catwoman. And it's supposed to have the Mask of Phantasm in it. So it might be good. I may check it out. I don't know. I love DC, but not a big fan of Tom King on Batman, if I'm being honest. Next up, we have Endless Winter number 1. It's not really, it's just Justice League Endless Winter #1. Sorry. I'm not like huge on this story coming out. It doesn't sound that interesting to me, but I might still get it. We'll see. I don't know. I love Justice League. I love DC, so may grab it. As far as covers go, I kind of want to get that Miles Morales Spider-Man #21, that 1 of 10 variant. That thing is beautiful. I may be grabbing that. Null Marvel Tales #1. It's just another tie-in to King of Black. TMNT Jenica 2 #2. Now, I did order, spoiler alert, I did order a TMNT Jenica 2 #1 from the 616 Comics. So, if that ends up being good, because I haven't read it yet, then I may go back and grab #2. We'll see. I do like Jenica as a turtle, but only normally if she's with the other turtles. Her by herself, not as interesting. And then books I'm hearing good things about. Strange Adventures #7. The Boys, Dear Becky #7. That Texas Blood #6. And then all of those tales from the Dark Multiverse. This one we got War of the Gods #1. Then Batman The Adventures Continue #7. I've heard really good things about that. So, to go back over my list again, I'm picking up my books from last week. The Flash 766 and TMNT Best of Donatello #1. Batman #104. Thor 10. Firepower 6. King in Black 1. Deceased Dead Planet #6. Those are definitely the books I'm grabbing. I'm on the fence on Batman Catwoman #1. Justice League Endless Winter #1. Miles Morales Spider-Man #21 to 1 of 10. If I can get that at a good price, I'll probably get it. Null Marvel Tales #1. TMNT Jenica #2. TMNT Jenica 2 #2. And then, again, books I'm hearing good things about are Strange Adventures #7. The Boys, Dear Becky #7. That Texas Blood 6. Tales from the Dark Multiverse War of the Gods #1. And Batman The Adventures Continue. So that is going to end segment 1, my new comic book day poll list for December 2nd, 2020. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to segment 2. We're going to be talking about variants, exclusive variants, and buying multiple copies of the same book. Now, if you know me or know anything about me, you know that I love me some comic book variants, specifically Power Ranger variants. I started getting into exclusives more this year. I do like to buy, like I said, for the cover, if it's TMNT or Power Rangers or really even Batman sometimes too. It's hard not to, honestly. I even buy multiple copies of the same book if it's a book that I think will blow up, or I just really like the character, or it's a book that, I don't know, I just like. You know what I mean? I just like to buy multiple copies of it sometimes if it's a really good variant as well. Though outside of Power Rangers issue 0, which I have like 9 covers of, I have all the 5 original Rangers, the 1 of 50 green, the 1 of 100 white, and the 2nd and 3rd print. So that's my 9 covers for issue 0 Power Rangers. And I think I even have 7 covers for issue 25, the start of the Shattered Grid event, the main 6 Rangers, and then like 1 other cover. But outside of those, I really try to stick to just like 1 copy, sometimes 2 to 3, though I think I have like 4 or 5 copies of Draken New Dawn #1, and now I have like 3 or 4 copies of issue 55 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But outside of those, I try to stick to just 2 or 3 copies. I think I have 2 to 3 of Flash Rebirth #1. I think I got 2 copies, maybe 3 of Venom 25. I used to have like 4. And then I have like 3 or 4 copies of Power Rangers TMNT #1, I think. Am I the only one who collects multiple copies of the same book? And I know several people that have more than 1 copy of certain books, but like I like to grab like multiple copies of like a lot of books. I used to have all of the foil variants, Power Rangers issue 40 through 55, though I'm only missing issue 51, the foil variant. But like I grabbed the regular cover and the foil cover. Now I think I got rid of the regular covers. And I think I just had the foil ones, but I was collecting both. So am I the only one that does that? Do people normally buy multiple copies of the same book, or is that just me? I don't know. I do know my friend Karate Kevin. He likes to collect a lot of the same book. He's got like 8 copies, I want to say, of ASM 300. And he's got like 6 or 7 copies of Secret Wars 8. I have 0 ASM 300s, and I only have 1 Secret Wars 8. Those are more expensive books. If I'm going to be collecting multiple copies, I like them to be cover price. So, let's see here. Where am I at? What are some books you guys have multiple copies of? And like I said, do you guys do that a lot or not? And if you're going to pick up an extra copy, is it of a certain artist? For me, I really like N-Hook Lee, Matina, Gani Montez. I like those variants, though I will get others as well. Like I like Warren Lau. I think he's great. And there's a few others as well that I really like. But normally if there's an N-Hook Lee or Matina or Montez variant, I'm going to get that. I do usually prefer to get the variants over the regular covers unless it's just a really, really cool regular cover. As far as exclusives go, I do have a bunch from the 616 Comics, obviously. And I started collecting more exclusives this year. I think I have the Venom 27 Comic Mint exclusive variant by N-Hook Lee. I have a couple of KRS Comics exclusives. And then I think I have a Golden Apple Comics one and maybe like a few others. I don't know. And obviously I just got that Comic Tom 101 exclusive as well for Power Rangers issue 55. It is beautiful. It is really, really beautiful in person. Probably going to slab that along with a few others. Thinking about doing a CGC, what is that called? We submit 25 books. Pre-screen. Thinking about doing a pre-screen here after Christmas. Submitting 25 books and maybe selling some when I get back. I don't know. What are some good places that you guys look online for exclusive variants or just really cool variants or just other books outside of my sponsor, the 616 Comics? What are some other really good places to buy exclusives? Let me know in the comments. And that is going to end. Oh, I actually have one more question. Let me also know in the comments, do you guys buy a lot of the regular covers or variant covers? Or do you, like I said, do you buy a lot of the same book? Like, do you like to collect a lot of the same, let's say, for instance, I have 4 issues of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55, 9 of Power Rangers issue 0. Is that normal? Do you guys buy a lot of the same book if you really like the character or the book? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so that is going to end our segment 2, which is variants and multiple copies of the same book. All right, guys, let's move on to segment 3, why you should or should not grade your comic books. I should probably do a video on this, but honestly, it's a pretty good topic, and to me, I don't really need to grade every single comic book in my collection, especially if it's a book I'm just buying for the story. Because I would say like 80% of my books are probably books that are just fine to very fine condition. And that's fine. I only got them to read. You know what I mean? I don't need to slab every single book in my collection. Which brings me to my question. Why should you slab comic books? Well, for me, there obviously is a variety of reasons you should. Number 1, it's a first appearance or an expensive book. Number 2, you want to preserve it so it does not get damaged. I have a child who has damaged my books before. It does happen. Number 3, the book has an emotional meaning to you. The first comic book I ever remember reading as a kid, Batman 497, The Breaking of the Bat. Now, I never bought a copy of it as a kid, but I remember as I got older, it was the first book that I ever remember reading. Now, I'm sure there were other ones, but it's the first one I remember reading. So when I got older, I got a copy. I submitted to CGC. I thought it was a 9.8, but it came back in 9.6. Apparently, there's a couple non-color break increases. That was like one of my first CGC submissions, so I didn't do very good. But I just wanted to preserve it because it's the first comic book that I ever remember reading. I have an emotional attachment to it, and so that's another reason why you should submit. And then another reason is so the hobby can fund itself, just like Very Gary does. He submits a whole bunch of books. He keeps the ones he wants. He sells the others, and it pays for the whole submission or pays for the books. Make the hobby fund itself is another reason. For the most part, though, I like to send off books that I like or love, and I want to get them encapsulated because I think they're going to be in high grade. I have a lot of books. I want to say I got like 12 to 15 9/8. I used to have only like, at one point I didn't have any slabs. I think at every point, like everyone only had one or none. I think right now I submitted every single book in my collection except for 5 or 6. Because very rarely do I buy a book that's already graded. So I know I bought a UF4, Ultimate Fallout 4, at a 9.4 for $135 shipped. And then I got it cracked, pressed by my presser, comic_book_pressing on Instagram. Resubmitted it, came back in 9.6. So I did buy that one, already graded. I recently bought that ASM 252. That's a 9.4. Batman 24 Rebirth. Batman Rebirth number 24, where Batman asked Catwoman to marry him. 9.8. At one point, I think that was my only graded book in my collection. I did buy The Brave and the Bold 54 4.0. I bought it twice. I bought it on eBay for myself, sold it to Big Will, bought it back from Big Will. So I did buy that already slabbed. That's, if you don't know what that is, that's the first appearance of the Teen Titans. No big deal. I did buy, let me think, DC Universe Rebirth number 1, the third print. I bought it on eBay for like $40. It's a 9.6. It's got Wally West on the cover. He's the best Flash. So I did buy that already slabbed. And I think those are all the ones that I bought that were already slabbed. Now, I did do a trade with Karate Kevin where I gave him my 9.8 360 ASM 361. He gave me his 9.0 361 plus some money. Though my 9.8 I did buy raw and I submitted it and it came back in 9.8. But that is a trade. So I guess the other 30 to 35 bucks, I want to say, I'm pretty sure I got like 30 or 33 books that I submitted myself. And the other 5 to 6 are the ones that I already bought slugged. So if you do the math there, I think that's 5 out of every 6 books I submitted myself. And I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I got like almost half or around half that are 9.8. Now, not all of them are moderns, but I'm getting off track here a little bit. I'm sorry. But as far as books go, you should make sure it's in high grade. Obviously, if it's something that you want to flip to make the hobby fund itself. Some people, though, are against grading books because they're afraid they'll come back lower than they should. I mean, for instance, if you look at MJ Comics' CGC unboxing from yesterday, wow. That's all I got to say, man. They got screwed. I'm assuming something happened when they shipped it. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because CGC wouldn't have damaged it and then graded it poorly. You know what I mean? It had to have come in damaged from when they sent it. So I don't know if it's the person they submitted it through or what. I don't know. But I will say that I've submitted through a dealer before and I've submitted by myself. Much rather submit by myself. I can check that stuff by myself and I know that it's being submitted with the best packing possible. So if you watch my latest CGC unboxing, I got 5 for 5 9.8s. So there you go. But it's really up to you if you decide if you want to grade a book or not. To me, there's too many good reasons not to. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of different reasons why people should or should not get books graded. I think 95% of my collection, like probably even 98% of my collection, are raw books. But like 90% of them, I'm not going to grade because I don't think it's something that is either a first appearance or an expensive book. I just like the books. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me know in comments why you guys grade comic books and, which ones are your favorites in your collections and how many of those books came back lower grades than they should. I've had several come back in 9.2 or 9.4 that I thought were 9.6 or 9.8. So it does happen. For me, though, I would prefer Keys, first appearances, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Batman, Flash, Venom books. I'm starting to get more into Venom recently. But I'm excited to make my list for 2020 of books I'm looking to buy and submit to CGC. Spoiler, there's several books that were on my 2020 want list that I did not get. They're going to make the list again because I did not, I don't know. I spent a lot of money on comic books this year, but not like a lot on the books that I thought I'd buy. Like I didn't anticipate buying an ASM 129. I ended up, I did not think I was going to get that. I wanted to get a Flash 110. I still do. I wanted to get an ASM 300 and a TMNT 1. I wanted to get those before they blew up recently. I didn't. And now, now they're unattainable almost, it seems like. I don't know. But I'm excited to make my list for next year. I'm excited to see what 2021 brings for my collecting and for my channel. Thank you again to my Burke family channel members. Ruben Guzman, Legion of Comics, The Cover Collector, Mike V, DJ Lynx, Deep Dive Comics, Flash 6792, The Comic Book Poser, Collectibles Lounge, and Kedrano Prints. Thank you guys for being family tier members. And thank you to my supporter tier as well. Thank you to my channel sponsors. We have comicbook_pressing on Instagram and the 616comics.com. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel. And as always, go Cats, Cowabunga, and it's Morphin time.